Floridians know the cost of hurricane destruction. Last season, we got lucky. But luck doesn't protect your home. Fortunately, Storm Smart has dependable custom hurricane protection products. Hurricane screens, accordion shutters, aluminum roll-down shutters, flood mitigation systems. Because protected beats lucky every time. Be safe, be smart, be Storm Smart.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by Storm Smart. Protect every opening of your home.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Thursday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, over the last several weeks, we have had a lot of guests. Last night, we had the folks from the Kiwanis Club here from Tampa on the big duck race that they had going on Saturday. And we've had, you know, folks from Feeding Tampa Bay. We've had a Saucy Queen for some of the food fests. And we love having all of our guests. It really makes my job a little bit easier. But there's times where I kind of like to remind myself that this show was about you, started about y'all, and the group that we've put together. Now, if you're watching on television, we started broadcasting on the spot last July, so coming up on a year. A little backstory here. So we've been doing DPL on social, on Facebook and whatnot for like 20 years. We actually started on a streaming platform before Facebook ever did it. And then once our station became broadcast partner with the Bolts, with the Lightning, which we'll talk about that coming up in a minute, we started programming this whole new station, The Spot. And, you know, my boss is like, hey, how would you like to go broadcast for DPL? I'm like, yeah, sure, it sounds like fun. And it has been. It's been a blast. And what's really been awesome for me lately about it is, you know, you go out in public, and I'm so fortunate that the people 99.9% of the time that come up, they're really nice. They want to say hi. They want to meet the family and whatnot. And it would always be, oh, I watch you on TV, or I follow you on Facebook, or I follow you on Instagram, or whatever. Now, maybe more often than not is, hey, we watch you on DPL. Hey, we love watching DPL. And I'm like, do you watch on The Spot, or do you watch on the computer or on your phone? Like, yeah, we kind of do both. But sometimes on TV, sometimes if we're out of the grocery store, we'll still have it on. So I want to thank each and every one of you for the loyalty. The OG folks are here, but I know there are a lot of people on television out there watching as well, and that's kind of a new medium for me, and I'm still learning how to go about doing it. But tonight, we were just going to talk about weather until, and that's what kind of makes this show the way that it was back in the day. And we've got so many folks in here. Barbara in Leesburg, how you doing? Jane, good to see you. Sue, nice to see you. Clearwater's in the house with Julian. Ottawa, Canada is in the house with Barbara. Annie, howdy to you. And that's something else, too. So if you're watching on TV, it's more of a passive experience. We are very interactive on social. And even if I'm not talking to somebody, they're talking amongst themselves. So we've got Mary in Lilman. We've got Tyler from the Adirondacks. Still rainy in the Adirondacks. Boy, bring some of that over this way. Denise poolside in Odessa. That's kind of a running shtick with her. Alexis from Feather Sound, Sandra Bradenton. I'm just looking on my phone, seeing Rana Donna in Tarpon. Steve, my brother, how you been? It has been a while. you have not been in for a while. And Lakewood Ranch is in the house with Rosella. So my point is, people notice. And I'm going to quickly tell this story, and I know y'all know this story, but we're having our meet and greet coming up at the Crooked Thumb Sunday, May 24th, whatever that Sunday is, either the 23rd or the 24th. The Crooked Thumb, the year after Irma, started making a beer in my honor, named it Rule Number 7 Pale Ale. It started as a Hurricane Saison, which is kind of funny, hurricane season, Hurricane Saison, and turned it into a pale ale. Well, we have done a meet and greet every year, and we do it typically Memorial Day weekend. It's the day before Memorial Day. Usually it's on Saturday. This year it's going to be on Sunday because that Saturday my son Jake graduates high school. So that would be 5 high school grads heading to UF. Very proud dad, got a full academic scholarship. So Jake is on his way to Gainesville to be a Gator with a full ride academically. So super proud of him. And Jake's more of the shy one. You know, Ryan, y'all know Ryan, most of you do, my youngest daughter. There's not a shy bone in her body. I mean, I always tell this story. When she sang the national anthem at the Threshers game when she was 10, they asked her, you know, do you want to look out at the outfield and not with the crowd where you'll be nervous, or do you want to look at the crowd and sing? And she's like, I want to look at the crowd. That is Ryan. So Jake is more of the shy one, but super proud of him and his accomplishments. So, matter of fact, he's at an IB award ceremony right now. But anyway, so point is, we've had 5 high school graduates. Ryan will be the 6th, and this is family. I mean, this really is turned into a family. And I repeat, so coming up Memorial Day weekend, whatever that Sunday is, May 24th or 25th, at the Crooked Thumb Brewery in Safety Harbor, we are going to have another meet and greet. It is a blast. There are so many people. It is mayhem. It is chaos, and I love that. There's lines to come up and say hi, to get pictures, to take selfies. We have our Rule Number 7 stuff there as well. And portions of the proceeds of that event go to the American Red Cross. And then, as always, the proceeds for anything that we have for our Rule Number 7 stuff goes to either Feeding Tampa Bay, Children's Miracle Network, a plethora of local and national charities these days. But anyway, the point is, as I get to the story, I had a young woman. She might have been in her mid-20s, and she came up to me at that meet and greet a couple years ago, and she said, I just wanted to thank you. When I moved down here a few years ago, I didn't know anybody. I was in a bad place. I was really lonely, and I somehow stumbled upon the group in DPL. And if you go on the chat, you will see the conversations between everybody. I mean, it is like seeing an old friend or saying hi to your next door neighbor. And that camaraderie sticks. So this girl who had moved down here from Michigan, said she kind of got into the group and felt like she belonged. She really felt like she was part of a community, that people cared for her. And her words to me is it got her through a really dark time. And she then said a year or two later, she met someone, got involved in some other things, and she had less time for DPL, so she would stop by from now and again. But she wanted to thank me and the group for getting her through that rough stretch. And that's not what our goal is on this show. Our goal is to talk about weather during hurricane season and to talk about the news of the day or maybe pop culture or whatever's going on. But that's kind of what it's happened. And we love that. So if you're watching on TV and you're just kind of flipping channels, I get it. That's awesome. But if you're part of this community, so appreciative, so thankful for what y'all do. And it has been a lot of fun. And yes, you can bring your kids to this brewery. It is a family-friendly event. Someone said that, asking about that. It is, someone said college cheers 2.0. The Crooked Thumb, it is not an adults-only place. There's things for kids to do. There's a giant courtyard with picnic tables and food trucks, and it is absolutely, positively not an adults thing. There are kids there. So bring your family, bring your kids. It's the day before Memorial Day. It's that meet and greet, and it's always a blast. Now, I'm also going to be at a lot of hurricane expos pretty much every weekend. I'm at a hurricane expo starting May 2nd at the Pasco County one. I'm at the Pinellas County one on the 9th. I know there's other ones coming up, so we're going to be in a lot of places. Allie and Greg and Jason, all these different places that we're going to be. You may have noticed we're doing a ton of community stuff lately, and that is kind of our new vision. And it's a new vision, but it's one that I've been a part of for 40 years, doing this as long as I've been doing. I love going out and meeting people out in the community. It's a great way to thank the folks for their loyalty, and it's also just a way to realize, like, you know what, hey, it's just we go out, we talk about weather. Anybody can talk about weather. Maybe it's harder to go up and talk to an athlete about something. Weather guys, you can always, oh, you got the weather wrong. Yeah, we did. It's just part of it. So we enjoy it. So here's what we're going to do. We got weather to talk about, but before we do, I've been posting some stuff about Facebook, and this was my point as I go on tangents. I was going to do just weather until I found out about Buddy the dog and how Buddy ran into some assassins today, and and it's a really funny story. And I've got Ring video of it as well as talking about it, and that's in 90 seconds. It's called Water Wars. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's a nationwide thing, and I'm going to share the story from today coming up in 90 seconds as DPL continues. Okay, so let's see. NFL draft is a week away. Yeah, you know what, Daniel? Thanks for mentioning that. Rock Riley, your friend and mine, is going to be on DPL next week to talk about the NFL draft. So that's coming up. Yeah, I don't know about the volume. Yeah, some people say Stella loves to go. Yes, and I hope you bring Stella, Ren. I hope you do. Greetings from Maine. Sharon from Maine is in the house as well. Doug, our daughter, just transferred and got accepted to FSU's marching band color guard. Congratulations. That is awesome, Doug. Way to go. Yeah, Mary's asking about Buddy. All right, so we'll get into that. You know me. It's just I get on these tangents and it just goes. But we have a lot to talk about as well. I do want to talk quite a bit about hurricane season, El Nino, and whatnot, and our next front. Frisco, Texas is in the house as well. John from Storm Smart says hi. So we've got lots of folks here. We'll do a few more hellos. We are back in 12 seconds. And then we'll share what happened with Buddy the dog. So we're back in 3, 2. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live again. Tons of interactions today. Steve, how you doing? Carol, nice to see you. Dave from Frisco, Texas in the house. We've got John from Storm Smart in the house as well. Kathy made it a little late, but better late than never. Christina's asking about Buddy. Eric's asking about, shouldn't we be in a break right now? And Daniel mentions that the NFL draft is in a week. That is correct. And Rock Riley, you probably know of Rock Riley. Rock was at Bay News 9 for quite a while doing sports. Rock now helps us out in some of our draft coverage, and he will be live on DPL as well next week. All right, so let me tell you what's going on here. This is how it started. These Water Wars thing is a thing, and it happens with a lot of local schools for seniors, okay? And my son, who has already died, it was involved as well. So here's how this played out. So I'm watching Facebook today, and a friend of ours, Kelly Waltz, she posted this in Facebook saying that Water Wars is real. And she said, this is her son, Brody. Said, not our fault. He runs to any car. They just called his name and he jumped right in. It's a team of girls. And then they yelled, Brody, they kidnapped my dog. So there is a look at Buddy. So who kidnapped Buddy? Well, that would be this is one of the girls who kidnapped Buddy. But the best part is look at Buddy's face. Buddy's like, yeah, I'm loving this. So Buddy's in the car, and they send a text to Brody, come get your dog. All right? So this is all happening. And so this is what it is. So I was talking to the family, I was talking to the dad, Eric, and they had Ring doorbell of the dog napping. All right? And by the way, here it is. All right, so check this out. So this is a look. Let's see if I can bring it back to the beginning. Of the actual. All right, here we go.
Buddy. Buddy, 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 buddy. Becky, get the... Buddy, no, buddy, come here, buddy. Becky, no, Becky. Buddy. Buddy, no. Buddy, 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 buddy. Good.
I'm going to play it again.
Buddy, buddy, buddy,
Listen
buddy,
to the
buddy.
girls calling him. Listen.
Becky, get the... Buddy, no, buddy, come here, buddy.
Come
Becky,
here,
no,
buddy.
Becky, buddy. Buddy, no. Buddy, 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 buddy,
And
buddy,
that
buddy.
scream was the best part of everything. I mean, I'm getting all these John Wick comments like, you don't mess with a guy's dog, all right? So, but Buddy was loving it. I mean, again, you saw the picture. So that drama is unfolding even as we speak. And my goal on Monday, because there's no DPL tomorrow night, I'm going to be live in the Quest for the Cup show over at Sparkman Wharf. And that's another thing we're doing tomorrow. So the Bolts, in fact, I'll show you. The Bolts have a pep rally tomorrow night. There it is at Sparkman Wharf from 6 to 8, okay? And there will be alumni from the Bolts there. There's going to be a Thunderbug, lots of people there. I'm going to be there as well doing a live shot. So Sparkman Wharf tomorrow from 6 to 8. Stop on by, and I will be live there as well. You can stop over, but we will not be on DPL because we're preempted by the Quest for the Cup. But anyway, my goal on Monday, and I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm going to try to. My goal is to get all the perpetrators and all parties involved on a giant Zoom and have them on. Because I mean, look, I have 5 other kids who have gone through high school, and they all participated. And watching how the game has changed over the years from just like a couple of squirt guns, now, I mean, there's snipers on roofs of houses near these houses with these squirt guns trying to get people. I mean, it is the real deal. And now I would argue that probably has something to do with, oh my gosh, what's the game my daughter plays all the time? I'm drawing a blank, and I've played it forever. And you know, they say when someone's sus. You guys know this. Why am I drawing a blank? It's not. I'm humiliated now because my kids love this game, and you guys know what it is. Wait a minute. So somebody will comment on it in just a second. I know you're on TV. You're screaming it. What the heck is? I can't continue until I remember the name of that game. You know, they got all the little guys, and they're sus, and they've got the different colors, the yellow and the red, and there's a murder, and you have to try to figure out who it is. Well, anyway, I'll see the comment in a second. I cannot believe I cannot remember this, because literally that game was in my house forever, for like months on end. Imposters is one, Among Us. That's it, Among Us. Yeah, imposters is what one of the person is. Among Us. Thank you, Allison. Yeah, how did I not know that? Anyway, so I'm going to try to get all of them on DPL on Monday. All right, so tell you what. We were talking about our drought conditions. We're talking about El Nino. It's not Call of Duty. Look at all these guesses. Clue, Call of Duty, like paintball. No, it is Among Us. Allison knows it. So look, here is a look at what El Nino is. And if you have been watching certain Facebook posts or certain social media posts, you may think the world is coming to an end with a super El Nino, and it's just going to be the most horrific thing ever known to mankind. As I often say, most of the stuff that you see on social media is hype. And this more than likely is as well. We'll tell you why in 90 seconds as Dennis Phillips Live continues. How did I forget Among Us? It's crazy. Red, I have not heard about an earthquake in Russia, but I'm sure you have, and I'm sure you're right because I have not. Let me look. Let me look. Earth. I'm sure our news people have. I've been following the endeavor. Yeah, it's a 5. Well, it was a 5-4, Japan and Russia, which in the scheme of things, 5-4 is not that tremendously high. Now here's another one. What day was this? Yeah, so I'm showing 5-4, but preliminary stuff. I've not done my research on this, so I can't, but I'm definitely looking at a 5-4, but that was a few days ago, actually. So I'm not sure what you're looking at. I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying I have not seen it. So I'll keep looking for it, and I'll post something about it later. All right, so we are back in 20 seconds. Rosie, excited for Best Buddies Walk on Saturday. That's good. I may be going to Disney on Saturday. I'm not sure. Whenever Ryan's involved, that's where we go. She is a Disney girl. Ain't no doubt about that. Okay, we're back. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. So let's jump into what I was talking about a couple of minutes ago. So this is a look at how El Nino. First of all, let's talk about what El Nino is. El Nino is nothing more than an area of very warm water that fluctuates along the Pacific. In fact, I will go back here and show you this. Let's just go and take this graphic back to the beginning and kind of show you. Here you go. Load it and call it up one more time here. Just a second. Where is it? I will find it. It was here. Stand by. All right, here we go. So this is what all the hubbub has been about, all right? So when you have normally the trade winds, which blow east to west, you know, they push all that warm water well off the coast of South America. However, at some times, that warm water accumulates, the trade winds weaken, and that pushes the warm water off the coast of South America. When that happens, that is what's known as an El Nino. And all that is a warming of the water. And if that water warms greater than 3 degrees, then all of a sudden you have what some call it a super El Nino. It's just an El Nino that's a strong El Nino. Now, El Ninos in the wintertime for our area are good. They bring a lot of rain. Now, sometimes they bring severe weather, but more often than not, they bring a lot of rain. And that is exactly what we need, as dry as we are right now. So in the summertime, the impacts of El Nino is a strong westerly shear, and that, more often than not, cuts off the top of developing hurricanes. So you see fewer storms in the tropical Atlantic and in the Caribbean. But I will tell you one thing about that, all right? Sometimes excessively warm water temperatures can offset the impacts of an El Nino. There are so many variables that come into play in hurricane season, and y'all know this. It isn't just, is the water going to be 2 or 3 degrees warmer off of the coast of South America, and that's all we need. There's so many things. There's Saharan dust. There's salinity. There's water temperature. There's where the positioning of the Bermuda High is. So many things come into play in whether or not there's an active season, and also where storms go. If that high is in such a place where it's well offshore, it's going to curve more of these storms out in the open waters of the Atlantic, like historically most do anyway, all right? But if you're scrolling through and you're seeing all this talk about how we're going to have, based on model data, there's going to be an exceptionally strong El Nino. That model data is right about 50% of the time. So it's just as likely we will not see a super El Nino or a strong El Nino. But let's say we do. Is that all that unusual? No. Happens every decade. Yes, there may be a few more severe storms. There may be some more rain than normal. But it is not, it is made out to just strike fear in people. And it just drives me crazy because it's just not accurate. It might be true, but it's not accurate. That is not what happened. So yes, if we are in an El Nino, and oh, by the way, you can still get hurricanes when there's an El Nino year, and those hurricanes can impact the United States and Florida. Look at Andrew. So just because there's an El Nino, you can't make sweeping stereotypes that there will be. Yeah, will there be fewer storms potentially? Yeah, there would be, but maybe 2 or 3, maybe. Although University of Arizona came out with their prediction, and they're saying there's going to be 20 named storms. And the reason is because of the excessively warm waters. So there's so many things that come into play. Don't get caught up in the, oh, we've got a super El Nino. We're all going to, all this. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It just really is. If we have an El Nino in the winter, odds are we have a very wet winter, and that is not a bad thing. If we get an El Nino in the summer, we probably see a fewer hurricanes than we typically get. That is true as well. But, and I've done the research and the analysis on this, statistically speaking, we are no higher or no lower in the Bay Area to have a direct impact from a hurricane in an El Nino or a non-El Nino year. The numbers just don't bear it out. So if you think we're going to be home free because it's an El Nino, think again. If you think it's going to cause mayhem and destruction because we might have what is known as a super El Nino, think again, because those models simply are not accurate enough to predict it 7 days in advance sometimes. You want to give me 7 weeks or 6 months? Please. All right, back in 90 seconds with the final segment of Dennis Phillips Live. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got here? Yeah, I saw the comment about the Avengers. Yeah, I saw that, you know, Doomsday is supposed, because there's CinemaCon. I would love to go to CinemaCon. That would be a cool thing. Yesterday they had, or 2 days ago, they had Brand New Day, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, and showed some new scenes about that. I'm a Marvel guy, and yeah, they're talking about, you know, Doomsday, which comes out the end of this year. Avengers Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. is, you know, Dr. Doom. So everybody's waiting with bated breath to see to get the new trailer, or the first trailer, honestly, which has not come out yet. All right, we are obviously pushed for time. I'm going to show drought next. Okay. And we were back in 26 seconds. So you guys doing okay? Try to get somebody try to get out to a Sparkman tomorrow night and say hi. It's going to be fun. I feel like it's going to be a packed house. I think it's going to be a good time. Go Gators, Charlotte. Yep. So we now have 3 Gators, 1 Noel, and 1 Bull. And who knows what Ryan wants to do. She's like, I want to go to Juilliard, Dad. I'm like, really? All right. Back in 3, 2. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to our last segment of Dennis Phillips Live. Quickly want to show you the new drought numbers that came out today. They don't look very different from what they did last week. They're updated every Thursday. Kevin said, we've been talking in the break about Doomsday, and Robert Downey Jr. is Avengers Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. is going to play Dr. Doom, and Kevin says, I thought he was Iron Man. Oh, yes, he was, Kevin, but he's also going to be Dr. Doom. That created quite a controversy within the Marvel community. But anyway, there's a look at we're all over the place, obviously. There's a look at the drought numbers. Not much different. Maybe a little better in southern Hardee and DeSoto County. A little better in central and eastern Hillsborough County, but still under a moderate to severe drought and extreme drought across the rest of the area. Look, guys, the bottom line is we are in a drought. We are going to be in a drought through May. There's no way around it. So at least looking at the 7-day, with the humidity a little bit lower, it's going to feel really comfortable out there, especially in the mornings. The afternoons are still going to be warm, but with the humidity, it's still looking pretty good. All right, so folks watching on the spot, hope to see you tomorrow night. And remember, you'll be able to watch all the first-round Lightning games on the spot where you're watching right here. You have a great night, and we will see you on our next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. Okay, we are out on TV. And people are messaging me about Buddy. I mean, honestly, that is one of the fun. The scream was the best part. The scream was the absolute best part of that entire video. So, you know, and there's always going to be a few folks that are going to try to just steal the fun out of it, but whatever. It's just the way it is. So anyway, guys, so it's my treat night tonight. You want me to show you? All right, let me get my treat, and I will show you, since it's just our TV folks, our OG and our social media folks here. So you guys know my favorite cupcake place is Delicious Cupcakes. You guys know it. If you don't know it, you have not been following me very long, because I mean, I've known these women in this shop for years. They used to be in Palm Harbor. They moved up to Newport Richey. And so let's see if you can see it without spilling. Look at the cupcakes. Look. Oh, man. So it is my treat night tonight. So I have to go put out the treat. I usually do like a really nice spread. I'm not going to lie. I like, it's all about, well, it's not all about, but it's certainly partially about presentation. I think presentation is important in treat night. I'm in the minority there. But again, as many of you know, treat night's tradition stems back 32 years to the beginning of what was 28 Tampa Bay News. And Marty Tucker and Brendan McLaughlin and Drew Soysher and Wayne Shattuck was the chief. And they were the evening folks, and I was the morning guy. I was the morning weather guy for like 7 years here. And then, so every Thursday, it would be a thing. And Drew Soysher rented out a Good Humor ice cream truck one time and brought it over. So, I mean, it was a thing. And then there were times where it started to go by the wayside and people started bringing in veggie trays or pizza. I'm like, no, you have lost your way. You have lost the spirit of treat night. Walt Makaborski, who used to be an anchor here, tried to call it dessert night. No, it is not dessert night. It is not veggie night. It is not pizza night. It is treat night. And fortunately, our savior, Wendy Ryan, kept this going, because it was hanging by a thread for quite a while, because I wasn't going to take the initiative to like get on people, because I am the worst person when it comes to like getting on somebody to do something. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. I don't want to do it. I'd rather miss out than be the person that gets on people. Fortunately, that is not Wendy. Wendy is a take charge kind of woman, and she's like, I'm going to keep treat night going. So she has. And so we are now back in, we're back in treat night mode. I'm looking here at the comments. My Facebook feed is showing, is it not? Wait a minute, stand by. It says we're still, oh yeah, here we are, there we are, okay. I'm scrolling here. Yeah, okay, we got everybody. I think, wait a minute, hold on, stand by. Hold on, let me look at this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Wendy loves the wedding cake. Yes, she does, Jen. Yes, she does. Wendy is and as am I. As am I too. Now, Jen is one of the Delicious folks. So, yes. So, Jen, hello from Germany. Virginia, Germany, how you doing? So, yes, I see there are s'mores, chocolate, red velvet, strawberry, white chocolate, cookie dough, lemon, wedding cake, Heath bar, vanilla dolce, de leche, chocolate lava, and vanilla with a chocolate topping, I think. So they are the best cupcakes. Honestly, the best cupcakes I've ever had. And I love these women. It takes a lot to make a living on just doing cupcakes. And they've expanded to other stuff now, but they're just so amazing. So anyway, when it's my treat night time, which it is tonight, I would put tablecloths out and I would have decorations and I would have little trinkets and stuff. I didn't do it tonight. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know why, but that's just like secondary stuff, because these cupcakes are so unbelievably amazing that So I don't think anybody will care that it wasn't as much about the presentation for me. So anyway, so yeah, everything is good. All right, so I guess, so I'll put them out there and I'll take some pictures and post. But tomorrow night, for the first time in forever, there will not be a DPL because I will be live on the Quest for the Cup from Sparkman Wharf, and then we'll be back on Monday and probably on TV as well. I'm not sure. All right, guys. So we have one more month until it starts. Yes, we do, Beth. Yes, we do. Charlotte, I do hear you. Is that everybody? Yeah, candy's like the bestest cupcakes. Yeah, they are. Look, Mary, pizza is a treat. I love pizza. Matter of fact, it's my wife's favorite food. However, it is not the spirit of treat night. Treat night are like these cupcakes. So, oh, Nancy, your dad worked at Good Humor in Detroit? That's pretty awesome. So, all right, you guys, yeah, no DPL tomorrow, Jules. No DPL tomorrow, but I will be live in the Quest for the Cup show. Nelson's like, when I return to Tampa, I will be there to eat cupcakes, as you should, as we all should, because they are awesome. All right, guys, have a great night. Thanks, Some Delicious, for such beautiful cupcakes. They are amazing. And we will see you tomorrow night at Quest for the Cup, and we will see you Monday on our next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.